Hello, I'm Nathan Judo. I'm here with Wolves reporter Miss Rosie Swarbrick. Rosie, we've just heard from Nuno, head of the big game against Manchester United in the
FA Cup.
FA Cup. Thank you very much, Max, for sorting us out from the press office. So it's freezing outside, it's raining,
Yeah, it's cold,
so wouldn't be good for our makeup, to be fair, would it?
I mean, you'd never see Joe making these demands, would you? It's just
Exactly.
me, like, get me inside.
Me and you in the rain, it'd be like the Rocky Horror Show, to be fair.
I heard you had makeup at the weekend.
I did have makeup at the weekend, yeah. Always a bit of makeup. Look, three things to come out of the press conference, really. Everybody wants to know about transfers, injuries, and, of course, team news. So let's go with injuries first. And good news on that front.
Yeah.
Firstly, about Diogo Jota.
Yeah, we're expecting Diogo Jota back on the training pitch next week, so back on the grass next week, with his calf injury. He got a heavy knock to the back of his calf on the in the 2-1 defeat at Watford, and he's been sort of out ever since, limping, but he had a scan on Monday. The scan's come back. It's not as bad as sort of feared, and now we're sort of, Nuno was really sort of excited when speaking about Jota, but I still think there needs to be a little bit of trepidation. That's the word, a bit of trepidation. So we're expecting him back on the grass next week.
So when you say on the grass, then we're kind of insinuating that he might not be game ready straight away.
Yeah.
It might take a little bit of time to build up his match fitness, and we're looking at maybe the week after next for him to be available.
Yeah, so perhaps Liverpool would be too soon, but the week after.
Sure.
You know, if Wolves get through for the FA Cup, I don't know whether that sort of Sunday game would be touch and go, or whether we're looking at the next week. But it's certainly not a long-term injury. It's short-term. He's, progressing better than expected, sort of thing. So.
And look, we've seen Pedro Neto, and he's coming in and doing a really good job. Had a little bit of a dip at the weekend, but at the same time, he's 19 years old. Yeah. That's going to happen, isn't it, for a young lad? Yeah. You're going to get changes in form. Diogo Jota gives you that consistency. He hasn't had his best season, but you can see how good he is when he's on song.
Yeah, I think there's one of the key words that you've just used there is consistency. For a 19-year-old coming into the Premier League, making an impact is, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's easy to catch the guy. It's easy to sort of make an impact off the bench, to make those impacts when a player's there. But when a player of Jota's quality is out for a little bit of time, it's about making that sort of consistent displays. And Neto will have another opportunity at Man United on Wednesday night and the weekend, so hopefully he takes those chances and keeps developing.
So Wolves go 1-0 down to Newcastle, another early goal, and everyone says goal, not girl, goal. And everyone says, Willy Bolly, when's Willy Bolly back? We miss Willy Bolly. So when is Willy Bolly heading back? What we're thinking?
Yeah, so we've still got that estimation date of February. We just spoke to Nuno in the press conference, and Nuno's talking about, it's basically been a perfect recovery so far. I'd asked him the questions about how Willy Bolly's done. He's still not back with the group, still not back training. He's back on the grass, back kicking a ball, but he's still not back with the core group training. So we're still having some time. There's still time in his recovery to go. Yeah. Because obviously the worst thing you want to do is rush him back and pick up some, even not like a recurrence of or in the same area. Sometimes the risk is, like you spoke to the ex-physio before, and he said, sometimes it's the other parts of the body. So far it's been a perfect recovery. It's just this last little bit when you can see that he's back kicking a ball and the excitement's there, but we're still looking February. Probably that Valentine's weekend is probably when we're looking at the return of Bolly.
Yeah, and look, Paul Darby did say that we bang on with the estimation that it would be around that time. And Nuno said, and you've got to. It's obviously a serious injury that he's had. Yeah. You have to respect the injury, so you can't rush someone back from that, because, like you said, the last thing someone wants is for it to flare up again, or there's a weakness in there, and then you lose him for another 4 to 6 weeks, especially this time of the year, especially with the Europa League, and he's still in that. I mean, a lot of his teammates said we want to keep in the Europa League for Willy Bolly, so if he comes back and they're chasing pack for 6th, 7th, 8th in the league, and they're in Europa, you just don't want to put pressure on that and rush him back too soon.
No. So what you're looking at really at the end of January is 2 new signings. Jota back sooner, but then Willy Bolly back in February. So it's going to be boosts probably like new signings, like we'd expect. 2 talismanic figures of this Wolves side that will be back. Jota probably by the end of the month. Bolly probably February.
So we talk about new signings. New signings. January transfer window. We've got about a couple of weeks left. And Nuno said they're going to sign about 5 players, about 400 million. Yeah.
No.
How are things looking on that front?
Yeah, he said that everything's progressing well, didn't he? He just sort of said that he's at the moment he's they're working on it. They're getting closer. So, you know, they're working on it at the moment. One of their aims is to bring in players, but he did stress the importance of recruitment this window, but he also stressed the importance of finding the right player.
Yeah.
Finding the right players to fit into this squad, to fit into his plans. So at the moment we've got no update really on the players situation, but you know, it's not imminent.
No, it's not imminent, but at the same time, he did say that he expects players to be on board.
Yeah.
He said that the bench is, and we saw the bench on Newcastle, very not weak, but it was young, and he definitely knows that he needs to add to that, and he admitted that. I think that was fair enough. He said that we need to strengthen, and he's had a number in mind, and said that he was confident of getting new signings in before January the 31st. Let's hope it's not 10:45 p.m. January the 31st, because we're gonna have a long day there.
No, it's always that. That's part of the transfer window. That's the reason you do it, isn't it?
You want to sign.
I'd rather have nothing than, you know, spend all day watching the clock anyway.
Yeah,
do you know what I
course.
mean? We're gonna be watching the clock anyway, so
Yeah.
get those signings in on deadline day. But no, they're definitely work is in progress, but nothing's imminent. That's the sort of impression that he gave us, isn't it? So, you know, they're definitely working on targets, but I think for us as well.
Thomas Lamar just gone through stuff, isn't it?
No. But we saw Neves again. You know, the rumours will probably start up at Man United. You know, Neves was here. You know, kind of Cody walked past.
Yeah, they're all fine. I think it's fair to say that Wolves will be keeping the rest of their squad. Obviously, Catrone gone, but additions will come. It just might take a little bit of time, and you've got to be patient out there, guys. Right, Manchester United. Then we're going to Old Trafford. The first time you're going to Old Trafford, you're very excited. FA Cup replay. Look, they're probably a game that nobody wants, but Nuno says that it's the priority because it's the next game, as he says every single week, which is fair enough, and I think that's a good mindset to have. In terms of team, what are we expecting? Are we expecting the same squad that played on Saturday, or are we expecting some of the 23s? What do you think?
Nuno basically said we can expect the same squad that we saw on Saturday for this game, and I think the impression that we got from Nuno is that what we can expect is a strong lineup, because when asked about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who wants to go strong, you know, he's an FA Cup winner with Man United. You know, Manchester United are taking this strongly with Martial expected to feature, you know, and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's one of those situations where I can expect Wolves to go strong. I'd expect changes in the back three, but from like the top upwards, not much. So I'd expect John Ruddy to come in. I'd expect probably Max Kilman and Ryan Bennett to come into the side. Vinagre as well, and I'd expect to see, you know, Matt Doherty rested, Johnny switched to the other side, and then probably I would say an arrow. Is it an arrow? I don't know what it is. Like an arrow.
Okay.
The arrow wouldn't change. So you know, Neves, Moutinho, Jimenez, Traore, and Neto. I'd expect that unchanged probably.
Yeah, and look, Man United, different kettle of fish. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer under pressure, so you know he needs to go strong. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You talked about Martial. There's a couple of other players that might play. Marcus Rashford only had 59 minutes the other day. But you think Wolves will probably be stronger than what we expect. Hopefully they'll be stronger than what they played in the first time back at Molineux. And look, this is a game and a competition. Like I say, Nuno wants to do well. They had a great run last year, and they've got Watford, or hopefully if they get through, they've got Watford or Tranmere in the next round. Look, I mean, a cup run, you just got to win games, don't you? And Wolves haven't been on the best run lately. And sometimes a win, if you go to Old Trafford and win and win well, then it gives you confidence going to Southampton, who are flying at the weekend.
Yeah, a really tricky test at the weekend on Saturday. So they've just got to sort of give themselves some confidence, I think, and you know, keeping that clean sheet against Manchester United should have given them a big boost. You'd have thought, you know, a clean sheet against United, although you know Rashford only came off the bench in that game at Molineux, you'd have expected a little bit more of a sort of, you know, confidence from that.
Sure.
I'd have felt that there should have been a bit more confidence going into Saturday's game, but yeah, we're going into a sort of, you know, the United game and this one, and there's potentially a fifth round tie on the horizon. You know, Watford are beatable, Tranmere are definitely beatable, so when we find out whoever gets the result of that game, there's definitely a chance of progression. I think in the Carabao Cup looking back on it, a little bit frustrating that Wolves didn't go as strong as they could have at Aston Villa that night. So I think if Nuno can sense the frustration from the fans from that night, where you know, looking back on it, Wolves could have gone further in the Carabao Cup, then you know, ever, well, no, not then ever imagined, but Wolves could have gone further.
Yeah, look, but they've it could be a late night as well, extra time and penalties. Nuno said that they've been practicing penalties as well, visualisation, going from the centre circle, walking up, not just standing on a spot with your mate and kicking the ball in the back of the net, and that's important, isn't it?
Yeah, really important for the players to get that sort of match experience and that match feel, and they've got a really good record with penalties. So obviously Neves missed a couple so far, hasn't he? Has he missed a couple?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Since he's been, it looks like Raul, I think, hopefully be the main penalty taker. But there'll be people who want to step up, and they've still got a good record in penalty shootouts, I think, overall, apart from the Leicester exit. They take a good penalty, and we also in the Asia Trophy how they can take penalties as well. So
yeah, brilliant. So I just think it's good to prepare, and it's strong of Nuno to sort of say they have been preparing for that eventuality. So, does that mean that we're going to see a gung ho, visit to Old Trafford? Like go for the jugular?
Yeah.
No, because they're fine for penalties. So I think that tells us everything really about the game plan. But also, it's also a bit about planning for what comes ahead and how methodical Nuno is with his planning. He's always planning for the next step, always planning for every eventuality. And Wolves, if those penalties come, they are prepped.
It's Manchester United against Wolverhampton Wanderers, FA Cup Round 3 replay. For all the build up on this one, make sure you log on to expressionstar.com.